Have you ever felt like financial freedom is a secret language, spoken only by a select few? Like there's a hidden rule book to wealth, and you're just not privy to it. Perhaps you're a parent, drowning in debt, just trying to keep your head above water. Or maybe you're young, full of ambition, but totally overwhelmed by where to even begin investing. Maybe retirement feels like a distant, impossible dream. Or you're a driven professional or entrepreneur, pouring your heart into your work, yet still feeling like something fundamental is missing from your financial picture. If any of this resonates, know this: you're not alone. For too long, the journey to wealth has been shrouded in mystery, filled with complex jargon and intimidating figures. But today, that changes. Because what if I told you that the key to unlocking your financial potential isn't about mastering complicated charts or insider trading, but about understanding a profound shift in mindset? What if I told you that millionaires, the truly wealthy, share a silent code, a set of unspoken rules that fundamentally separate them from everyone else? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 8 things millionaires never say out loud. And by the end of this video, you won't just understand their secrets, you'll have the blueprint to rewrite your own financial future, no matter where you're starting from. This isn't just information, it's a promise of transformation. The journey to financial freedom often feels like an uphill battle, especially when you're carrying the weight of debt, the uncertainty of new investments, or the immense pressure of building a business. But what if I told you that many of the struggles you face are due to a lack of effort or intelligence, but rather a fundamental misunderstanding of how wealth is truly built and maintained? Millionaires, the individuals who have successfully navigated these waters, operate from a different playbook, one that often defies conventional wisdom. They understand that true wealth isn't just about money. It's about a mindset, a discipline, and a deep-seated belief in their own value. Let's peel back the layers and uncover these powerful, unspoken truths. This might sound counterintuitive, especially for parents grappling with rising costs or young people on tight budgets. But when a millionaire encounters something they want, but don't immediately have the funds for, their internal dialogue isn't one of scarcity or resignation. They don't say, "I can't afford that." Instead, their mind immediately shifts to, "How can I afford that?" This isn't about reckless spending or going into debt. It's a fundamental pivot from a mindset of limitation to one of possibility and resourcefulness. Think about it. When you say, "I can't afford that," you're effectively closing the door on the opportunity. You're telling your brain to stop looking for solutions. But when you ask, "How can I afford that?" you unlock a powerful problem-solving engine. For a parent deep in debt, this might mean asking, "How can I reduce my expenses enough to free up cash for debt repayment?" For an independent professional, it might be, "How can I optimize my services or increase my rates to generate more income?" For an entrepreneur, "How can I innovate my product or reach a wider market to boost sales?" This simple shift in language transforms a statement of defeat into a question of strategy. It encourages you to find creative ways to generate more income, cut unnecessary expenses, or even acquire the asset in a different way. It's about understanding that wealth isn't given. It's earned through ingenuity and a relentless pursuit of solutions. It is a powerful internal reframing that empowers you to move from feeling like a victim of your circumstances to becoming the architect of your financial destiny. Millionaires understand the insidious nature of procrastination when it comes to financial matters. They know that later often means never, and the right time is almost always now. You'll never hear a millionaire say, "I'll do it later," or "It's not the right time." Why? Because they grasp the profound power of compound interest and the equally destructive power of compound neglect. Imagine a young person just starting their investment journey. Every month they delay, they lose not just the principal they could have invested, but also the growth on that growth. It's like planting a tiny seed. The sooner you plant it, the more time it has to grow into a mighty tree. For parents struggling with debt, postponing a debt repayment plan only allows interest to accumulate, like a financial monster growing larger in the shadows. For those preparing for retirement, later means losing precious years of growth that could significantly bolster their nest egg. They prioritize their financial goals and integrate them into their daily lives, not as an afterthought, but as a fundamental pillar. They know that small, consistent actions taken today yield colossal results tomorrow. As the famous saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. This applies just as powerfully to your financial garden. Don't wait for the perfect moment, create it. Start small, start imperfectly, but start now. This is a subtle but monumental distinction. Most people operate under the paradigm that they exchange their time and effort directly for money. And while that's how everyone starts, millionaires fundamentally shift this perspective. They never say, "I work for my money." Instead, their mantra is, "My money works for me." This is the essence of building true, sustainable wealth. It's about understanding that your capital, whether it's through investments, a thriving business, or intelligent asset acquisition, should be generating income independently of your direct hour-by-hour labor. For a young investor, This means understanding that a diversified portfolio isn't just numbers on a screen. It's your financial team working tirelessly 24/7. For an independent professional or entrepreneur, it's about creating systems, delegating tasks, or building assets that continue to generate revenue even when you're not actively present. Think of it like this. Your money is a loyal employee. If it's just sitting in a low-interest savings account, it's essentially but when you strategically deploy it into investments, a business, or education that increases your earning power, it begins to generate its own income, compounding your wealth. This frees up your most precious resource, your time, allowing you to pursue what truly matters. Whether that's spending more time with your family, traveling, or dedicating yourself to your passion projects. The goal isn't just to make money. It's to make money, make more money. We've all been there. After a tough week, a significant achievement, or just a particularly stressful day, the urge to treat yourself can be overwhelming. And while self-care is vital, millionaires are acutely aware of the dangerous trap hidden within the phrase, "I deserve this," especially when it leads to impulsive, non-value-adding spending. They never use it as an excuse to derail their financial plans. Instead, they approach rewards and indulgences with intent. They understand that true satisfaction comes not from fleeting material purchases, but from achieving long-term goals and building lasting security. They might plan for a well-deserved vacation or a significant purchase, but it's always within the framework of their financial strategy, not as an impulsive reaction to emotion. For a parent trying to escape debt, every "I deserve this" impulse purchase can be another brick added to the wall of financial struggle. For a young investor, it can mean less capital available for compounding growth. For those preparing for retirement, it might mean sacrificing a more comfortable future for a moment of fleeting pleasure. Millionaires find their deserved moments in the growth of their assets, the reduction of their liabilities, and the peace of mind that comes from true financial stability. They understand that delayed gratification is the superpower of the wealthy. They choose strategic discipline over momentary desires, knowing that their future selves will thank them for it. In our fast-paced world, time is a precious commodity, and for busy professionals, entrepreneurs, juggling multiple responsibilities, or parents balancing work and family, it can feel like there's simply no extra bandwidth to dive into financial education. But millionaires know that this is a fatal flaw. They understand that time spent learning about money isn't an expense. It's the most profitable investment you can make. You'll never hear them say, "I don't have time to learn about money." Instead, they prioritize it, seeing it as a non-negotiable part of their growth. They devour books on finance, listen to podcasts, attend seminars, and seek out Why? Because they understand that financial literacy is the foundation upon which all wealth is built. Trying to build wealth without financial knowledge is like trying to build a house without an architectural plan. It is destined to crumble. For parents in debt, learning about budgeting, debt consolidation, or negotiation techniques can literally save them thousands. For young investors, understanding market dynamics and asset allocation prevents costly mistakes. For those nearing retirement, knowing about different income streams and withdrawal strategies is crucial for a secure future. For independent professionals and entrepreneurs, financial acumen directly impacts their business's profitability and personal wealth. Remember, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Make time for financial education. It's the difference between merely surviving and truly thriving. This is perhaps one of the most common self-limiting beliefs. Many people shy away from managing their finances because they believe it requires an innate mathematical genius or an economics degree. Millionaires, however, reject this notion entirely. They never say, "I'm not good with numbers," or "That's too complicated for me." They understand that financial mastery is a skill, not a talent. And like any skill, it can be learned and improved with practice. They approach financial concepts with a willingness to learn and simplify. They break down complex ideas into manageable pieces. They ask questions. They seek out resources that explain things clearly. They use tools, whether it's a simple spreadsheet, an app, or a financial advisor, to manage what they might initially find daunting. For a parent overwhelmed by their budget, it's about simplifying it into categories they understand. For a young person intimidated by investing, it's about starting with basic index funds or robo-advisors. For independent professionals, it's about understanding their profit and loss statement, not as a mystical document, but as a report card for their business. You won't need to be a math whiz to understand that spending more than you earn leads to debt, or that investing consistently over time leads to growth. It's about developing the discipline and commitment to engage with your finances, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Your financial future isn't a complex equation. It's a series of simple decisions made consistently. This is a deeply emotional point. Many of us tie our happiness to future financial milestones. I'll be happy when I'm debt-free. I'll be happy when I have X amount in my investment account. I'll be happy when I can finally retire. Millionaires, the truly fulfilled ones, understand the profound danger in this mindset. They never say, "I'll be happy when ... because they recognize that happiness is a state of being, not a destination tied to a financial figure. They understand that the journey of building wealth is long, filled with ups and downs. If their happiness were constantly contingent on external financial achievements, they would experience perpetual discontent. Instead, they find joy and contentment in the process, in the growth, in the discipline, and in the freedom that their financial progress provides along the way. They practice gratitude for what they have while working diligently towards what they aspire to. For a parent deep in debt, finding moments of joy and gratitude now. For their children, for their health, for small victories in their debt repayment plan, is crucial for maintaining motivation and avoiding burnout. For a young investor, celebrating small compounding gains, rather than just the final number, makes the journey sustainable. For those preparing for retirement, enjoying the present while planning for the future creates a richer life. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Build your wealth with intention, but live your life with gratitude and present. This is perhaps the most profound and difficult truth to confront. When facing financial challenges, it's easy to point fingers at the economy, at the government, at your employer, at your past choices, even at circumstances outside your control. And while external factors certainly play a role in everyone's financial situation, millionaires instinctively reject the victim mentality. They never say, "It's not my fault." Instead, they embody radical personal responsibility. This doesn't mean blaming themselves for every setback. It means acknowledging their role in their current financial reality and, more importantly, understanding that they possess the power to change it. They focus not on what they can't control, but on what they can. They ask, "What can I do about this situation? What steps can I take today to improve my financial standing?" For a parent struggling with debt, it means accepting that past decisions led to the current situation, but then empowering themselves to create a repayment plan. For a young person just starting, it means taking ownership of their financial education and investment choices. For independent professionals and entrepreneurs, it means taking responsibility for their business's performance and seeking solutions to challenges. The moment you stop blaming external forces and embrace your agency, you unlock an incredible surge of power. As the great philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your financial future isn't dictated by your past or by external circumstances. It's sculpted by your choices and your unwavering commitment to take responsibility for your own destiny. Now, let's go even deeper into the mindset that separates the truly wealthy. The shifts we've discussed so far are powerful, but they're even more subtle, yet equally critical beliefs that millionaires never express. Beliefs that often hold the rest of us back.